allons-y avec...
Let's continue with Mr. Luc Desilets for the next 6 minutes. Madame Gauthier, you're a paraplegic, if I'm not mistaken, and you've been waiting for an elevator in your home for how long? 5 years. In addition, it's a renewal of equipment. It's the third platform that I would have to have replaced. And so it was supposed to be a renewal. But when you said earlier that you have to annually fill out the same paper burden, is this an example of it? Yes, it is. I have to be able to have something to get in and out of my house. I can't go up and down stairs. And you've been waiting for that platform for how long? For 5 years. You have no platform whatsoever? You've never had a platform? No, sir, I have not. For 5 years, 5 years ago, the initial application was made. It was accepted. The project was accepted. But the subcontractor that was sent to us decided to do that in a different area where it wasn't adequate. He wanted to do it behind. And it was therefore decided that they had to go back to square one and start the project all over again. But you've had case managers that have gone to your home. Yes, sir. And that no longer happens? Since when? 5 years ago, I think the last one came. Yep. Mr. Moncoeur, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You said earlier something that I found a bit much. You talked about MAID being offered to veterans in a variety of forms. That's what you said. I'm not mistaken, am I?
Okay. Pouvez-vous m'expliquer?
No, you're right.
Pouvez-vous m'expliquer?
So what did you mean? Can you explain? What are these numerous forms? Do you have any examples to give us?
Something they call sanctuary trauma. You're looking to someone for help, and they're not offering it. It's common in soldiers looking for help for PTSD, and also for young children that have been, say, one parent is taking advantage of a child, and they go to the other parent to tell them about it, and they ignore it. That's what it feels like sometimes when Veterans Affairs does this. It's a medical term called sanctuary trauma, which I kind of make it sound like it kind of is like PTSD's ugly cousin. And when I started my advocacy, I couldn't grow a beard. And it took me almost 10 years to get my pension sorted out. So there's a lot of frustration and futility that goes with trying to navigate through Veterans Affairs. And eventually it causes soldiers to lose hope and think about taking their lives. And it's the triple D policy: delay, deny, die. Dead veterans cost no money.
If you had one recommendation to make, just one recommendation to make to our committee, what would it be?
A royal commission.
Okay. Merci.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Gauthier, do you want to add something to this? With respect to MAID, I have a letter in my file because I had to face that as well. I have a letter saying that if you are so desperate, madam, we can offer you MAID, medical assistance in dying. I wrote a letter to Mr. Trudeau to that end, saying what I've just said. But can you give us a copy of this letter? Can you make it public? I'm sorry, Mr. Desilets. A point of order?
My apologies. I think Mr. Desilets might have already handled it. I was just going to suggest that the witness provide a copy of that to the clerks of the committee.
I will certainly provide a copy.
Allez-y, Monsieur Desilets.
Go ahead, Mr. Desilets. Please do. 2 minutes. You say you wrote to the Prime Minister. You said that you were offered that. I sent a letter to Prime Minister Trudeau, and that they offered me MAID and would supply equipment. Well, I know it's very difficult for you, but it's very relevant for us. If you could give us some more detail, who offered you that? Madame, if it's too difficult for you to continue living, we can offer you medical aid in dying. Is that a case manager who's did that? Yes. Do you have other examples? Well, I have one from the RCMP. It's a chronicle here that I have, and that there were only 4 persons involved. If it becomes public, probably there will be more people stepping forward saying the same thing. That's all, Chair.
Merci, Monsieur Désiré.
Thank you, Mr.